And we are continuing to monitor this breaking news situation out at McCarran International Airport. We know at least 2 people have been transported to the hospital because of a shooting there on the 6th floor of the parking garage at the airport. As you can see, a heavy police presence there. Police still investigating the situation. We seem to have been focused on this SUV you see back there with the hatchback that is open. But we are still hearing the latest from Metro Police is that they don't believe that the shooter is still at the airport, that they are still searching for that suspect, but don't believe that that shooter is on airport property at this time. That's important to note as well, because we've been monitoring social media this evening, and we've had some people reporting that there is an active shooter situation at the airport. That's not the case. It appears that this is pretty much contained right now, except that the shooter is still on the loose and not believed to be at the airport anymore. I also want to mention that the connector tunnel to the airport is back open, so traffic is moving in that area. It just looks like it's going to be some time there. Obviously, it's a very large airport. This is an international airport. Several stories there, Tricia and Steve. Obviously, it's going to take them a while to be able to contain that situation and search throughout the airport to figure out where that suspect may have gone.
Yeah, one of the things, and you made a really good point, Carla, is this is one of those times when a lot of stuff gets out there on social media that is not true. And we do our level best in situations like this to try to get the information reported firsthand. So again, and this is worth repeating, this is not an active shooter situation. This is not in the terminal. This is what police are describing as a domestic situation that unfolded in one of the parking structures. And Carla, as you just said, they don't even believe the gunman is even on the airport property anymore.
And also, I want to mention that the Clark County Fire Department is also confirming that 2 patients were transported to Sunrise Hospital with unknown injuries. So we do know for sure that 2 people were transported from the scene in this domestic situation.
Yeah, Mahsa Saeidi, our reporter there, reported a moment ago that according to her information, Mahsa, the 2 people who were transported were both conscious as they were taken to the hospital. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. I asked if it was life-threatening injuries or non-life-threatening. He said he wasn't sure, but he can tell me that they were conscious, that they were speaking. He wasn't able to tell me much else about the suspect. The fire official told me that they're still looking for the suspect. We just got an update from airport officials that say that the suspect is not on the property here, and that would make sense because when we first arrived, there were so many police vehicles, and now you can see that this area is pretty much clear. And even when we arrived, the airport wasn't really shut down. People were just walking back and forth. So the big question right now is, where is that suspect? Is it possible that one of the people that was transported could potentially be the suspect? We don't know. But I also want to show you, you can see our chopper right there, and it is pointed to give you a lay of the scene here. That is our chopper. And Mason, if you can pan over, this is the parking garage that it is focused on right now. This happened on the 6th floor where all of this played out, and nobody really heard anything because of all of the distance up there. But we have talked with everybody here on scene, and nobody saw or heard anything. We got most of our information from TSA agents and fire officials here on the scene. Steve, Tricia?
So, Mahsa, do you have can you give us an idea who would park up on that top level? Do you think that would be consistent with maybe more airport employees, or because it's not really it wouldn't be that popular of a place to park for people trying to get in and out of the terminal, passengers?
Yeah, that's a great point. I'm looking right now. There are some empty spots available on other floors. The sign says short-term parking. So this is short-term parking. I'm not sure who would park up there, but there are other parking spots that we have seen open on other levels. So that's a great question, Steve.
Yeah, if it
I'm
was
not
short-term,
sure about that.
yeah, it wouldn't be employees. So.
And Mahsa, this is Terminal 1, that parking structure right across from Terminal 1, where Southwest and all the other big airlines, not the international. This is Terminal 1 you're at right now, correct?
Yeah, that's right. We're at Terminal 1. This is where domestic flights come in. We're right outside of baggage claim. This is where, this is how I come and go from the airport every time I travel, so we're very familiar with here. And again, Tricia, I can tell you that the area was not closed off, that there were a lot of passengers right on the ground level, right next to fire officials. I also, a couple witnesses told me they did see one person on a stretcher being taken from the elevator. So we're still working to piece all of this together, but right now, again, domestic incident played out on the 6th floor. A lot of people did not hear anything. The big question, where is the shooter? Is the shooter perhaps at the hospital? Because the wording of that email from police suggests that they're not on property here, but we don't know where they are, if they've been captured. That fire official told me they are still outstanding. That was the information he had.
And Mahsa, you mentioned that you talked to about, I think you said last time, about 30 different people around that area. I imagine there was a lot of surprise from the passengers because overall McCarran is a very, very safe airport and you usually don't have any incidents in the parking garages.
Yeah, that's right, Trisha. I think people were, I asked everybody, do you know what happened? Did you see anything? Did you hear anything? They said no. And their first question, could this be terrorism? And I said, we do not have any information about that. So people were very alarmed. I also spoke with a couple TSA agents that were walking by and I asked them, was this related to terrorism? Do you have any information? Did you get any emails? And they said no, but the big concern for everyone and a lot of relief because people were just really worried that perhaps this was a terrorist attack, which it is not, according to police. But yeah, very alarming that this would happen anytime there's any sort of an incident at an airport. The passengers were very alarmed, very confused, and everyone wanted to know what was going on.
All right, to our viewers, you're looking at live pictures from Chopper 13 in that left panel right now. We'll go ahead and take that out full. Police roping off this crime scene. If you're just joining us, 2 people transported to the hospital, both conscious, reportedly wounded in a shooting that was somehow domestic related, nothing to do with terrorism. In fact, there's absolutely no indication other than a domestic dispute of some kind. Traffic going in and out of the airport itself has been affected. It has been slowed down, but the tunnel is reopened again. And the other thing, there are no flight delays to speak of at the airport itself. It's just a situation unfolding on the 6th floor of the parking structure at